Okay, we'll do this again. Let's see. It's Sunday, April 19th, and I've had some questions about the kit or the vibration problem I have with the Tacoma here. Yeah, it's a little vibration. It's not making the wheel shake or nothing like that. It's more of a hum, and it's just driving me nuts. So I did some research online, Tacoma World, I think it was, and somebody suggested that it's the axle shaft on the driver's side at the differential carrier, a needle bearing, and so I looked up what they recommended. East Coast Gears Supply. It's too dark in here, huh? Yeah. These guys make a kit to replace that bearing. East Coast Gear Supply. Supposedly supposed to solve that issue. So I ordered it, and I got it installed, and I still got the same problem. So I really don't know what's going on with that. But let me tell you about the here's the needle bearing, the factory needle bearing. Okay, this is what you're replacing with a bushing, which is a solid bushing. Okay. I had a little trouble getting this out only because I didn't watch the video on YouTube. I watched part of it and said, yeah, okay, easy enough, right? I didn't watch the details. It comes with this tool. Comes with this tool right here. Let me see if I can turn down the lights here. Yeah, how's that better? Comes with this tool right here to pull this bearing out of the differential. Okay. So first you got to pull the axle out. So the axle slides through here and connects with a gear, side gear on the differential on the inside of the carrier, I guess. And that's it. So you need to pull this one out and put the new one in. So once you pull the axle out, you need to get this tool in there, which is basically just a puller. Okay, so, but see, you can't get it in there like that. It's not going to fit. You got to put it at an angle, and you can't get enough angle on it without unscrewing it from the screw here, from the bolt. And the trick is to get this, gosh, I wish I had more hands, but the trick is to get this in back here to the back side of the bearing. Okay, turn this up a little. Yeah. To get this in past the bearing, and then you screw this from the outside onto the little metal thing, and then you tighten up the nut and it pulls the bearing out. The issue I had, which was my own fault, so don't let this happen to you, is I put this thing in fairly easily. Now you got to turn it sideways, right, to get it in there. And somehow I got it back up in the right position, but it was way past the bearing. It was at the gear. You got the bearing, and then you got a gear. I was at the gear. I go, cool, that was easy enough. I put the tool in. The tool right here screws in, and I start tightening up this nut out here, and it starts pulling, but it don't pull all the way. It stops. I mean, it gets tight, and I go, I don't want to force it. I gotta relook at this thing and reposition it. Maybe I'm figuring maybe it's too high or too low, but yeah. So I pull the tool out. I pull this part out. I unscrew it. And when I do that, this little thing disappears. Whoop, it's gone. It fell down into the differential housing. So now it's down here in the differential housing. And I'm like looking through the little hole in the axle, and I'm like, where is it at? Where did it go? God. So don't let that happen to you. Somehow I was able to get this thing out of there through the drain plug. Believe it or not, yeah, with a coat hanger. What I did, since I was looking for this stupid thing. Where did it go? I decided to turn the dry shaft, and turning the dry shaft, this thing apparently was getting caught in the ring gear. Clink, clink. Drive shaft would only turn so far, and I turn it back the other way. Turn it back. Well, that could be it. So I pulled the drain plug out, and once the oil drain, sure enough, this thing's in there, but it's sideways. It's like that. It's in kind of like in that position, and it's not going to fit that way. It's too long. It's too long, you know. It took me a while, but patiently with a coat hanger and working the dry shaft, I was able to wiggle it around and get it sideways like that. And then I had to spin it like that, and that way it will fit out the drain plug. And then I got the coat hanger and hooked it through the little hole there and got it out of there. Otherwise, I would have had to pull the whole differential out, and you know, this is ready to shoot myself. So don't let that happen to you. So here's a quick video of what I did. It's not like a whole lot of detail. It's pretty simple. Once you get this out, you need to put the new one in, and you need one of those bearing driver tools. And that's not easy either, because there's not a lot of room out there to tap it in with a hammer. You know, there's things in the way. So anyway, after I went through all that, I still had to do the upper control arms and the new struts. So yeah, but this video here is just about the bushing from East Coast Gear Supply. Like I said, didn't fix the thing. I still got the same problem. What's going on? I don't know. Sounds like a wheel bearing. But I check the wheels, and there's no play in the wheels. And I spin the wheels, and they turn free, nice and smooth. It's like, well, what's going on? What I do notice is that when I'm driving along, you can hear that humming sound. When I turn the steering wheel to the right, it goes away. And goes back, it comes back. Go to the left, nothing happens. But when I turn it to the right, or I'm on a long on-ramp on interchanges there, it goes away. The wheel straightens out, it's back again. So I don't know. I'm thinking it could be a wheel bearing, a hub assembly, what do they call those things? Going bad. It hasn't gone bad yet. So I really didn't want to mess with it this weekend. I've been dicking around with this stuff for the last 2 weeks. I want to go out and get somewhere. I want to go somewhere. I can't go anywhere if the truck's not going to be reliable, so it kind of blows. So that's what's going on. Watch this video. Also, look at my channel, my home channel, for more information on off-road and all kinds of other stuff. If you're in a 4x and off-road and are just getting out. A lot of information, and good information I got on my channel. Okay, I got playlist on my channel you might be interested in. Look that up. Alright, this is the kind of stuff that just can hold you up. Everything unbolted real easily. Got the axle shaft out of the spindle there, I guess you call that. Rotor, the hub, whatever. Now, I assume this thing just slides out of the differential in there, you know. Yeah. I can hear them. Sounds like the vibration I hear. Yeah. Anyway, how does this thing come out? It's not coming out. Something locking it in there. Guess I'm gonna have to do some research now. So, I'm on YouTube right now. This is Toyota Maintenance. Yeah, Toyota Maintenance. I don't know where this guy's from, but he's got a little accent, but he pretty well made videos, very detailed on how to do things. You might want to check it out. In this video here, he's using a pry bar to get that thing out of there, to get it out of the differential. See that pry bar right there? Just pop it in there and it pops right out. Yeah, well, I guess I'm going to have to go to a Harbor Freight and see if I got a pick out one of these big pry bars, 'cause all I got is screwdrivers.
Here on the inside.
That's my problem.
What I use here, I use the pry bar to carefully separate that CV shaft in this area. And you can see it already happened. There might be a little bit.
All right, you know what? It looks so easy, right? Particularly when you have the right tools. I don't think I have any pry bars. Alright guys, I got it out. Now that YouTube channel I was looking at, it's called Toyota Maintenance. The guy's pretty good, so I recommend it. So I got that out. I'm replacing, I'm adding this part from East Coast Gears Supply, and that's it right there. That bushing replaces the bearing, the needle bearing. Yeah. The needle bearing on the axle. So I got the axle out. And that bushing, so there's my axle. Okay, got it out. With the pry bar, just like the guy shows. So now I gotta get the needle bearing out of there. As you can see, the oil's leaking out. It'll go in the pan as long as the wind don't start blowing. That always happens. So now you got to pull the needle bearing out. So I ordered the tool from East Coast Gears Supply. Now this has to go in there, and it's just a puller. You tighten up the nut, and it pulls the old bearing out. So that's what I got to do now. First thing is to get this piece in there. You know what I mean? Yeah. Alright, I got it in there. I don't know whether you can see. There you go. Something like that. But I assume that you have to center it, you know, so it pulls the bearing out and not the seals and all that. I just want the bearing. So I just kind of put it in there with my fingers and was able to flip it the right way and start the bolt on there. So hopefully, if you have to do this, it's that easy. But maybe I just got lucky. So now I gotta put that plate on there, the nut, tighten up the nut, and it should just pop right out, right? Right. So what happened was, I repositioned the tool, I pulled it back out, and I was gonna reposition it in there because it wasn't doing what it's supposed to do. So I loosened that up, pulled that out, and hey, where's the other piece at? Apparently it fell down into the differential there. Now, hell, I'm gonna have to pull the whole frickin' differential off and split the case or something. I wonder if that's it, binding up the ring gear or something. Oh yeah, wait, there it is. Check that out. But I think that shiny thing down there and the wiggling around, see it down in there? Maybe I can get it out the drain plug. Oh Lord, please. 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 Well guys, what a pain in the ass. Remember, don't make the same mistake as I did. Where's it at? Yeah, I had to get it sideways, you know, long ways, with a coat hanger. There it is. Now, hopefully I can get it out of there now. I just got it into position. I figure I'd take a little break before I screw it up and knock it back inside. You know how that goes? Yeah. Oh, hey, finally! Yeah, finally. If you do this to your vehicle, very carefully, don't drop this in the differential. It doesn't go all the way in. Yeah, number one, it does not go all the way in. I originally had it all the way in there on the side gear. There's a gear that goes on the end of the axle. You know, axle goes in, and there's a gear that's on the end there. I had this thing all the way past that on the gear. Then I said, oh, that don't go there. It goes on the bearing before the gear. Here's the bearing. Okay. What a pain in the ass to get this thing out. Alright, so just for your information, yeah. This thing, you have to get in there, in the axle. See? It's too big. So you got to take it apart and slide it in there and somehow turn it sideways like that. Okay? So you got the bearing, and then on this side here you've got a gear that's bigger than that. You got to get it between the gear and the bearing. It took me a while to get this thing in there. Yeah, because you got to get it in there sideways like that, and then flip it out like that, and then get it in the groove, and it's got to fit just perfect. See? You know what I mean? It can't be off to the side like that, or off like that. It's got to fit in there perfectly centered before you can pull it out. Now I see part of this bearing is broken on there. I wonder if I did that right now, or was it like that? I have no idea. They don't need that, right? So anyway, what I'm doing is I'm replacing this with a part from East Coast Gears Supply. I don't recommend this job to a novice backyard mechanic because it can be quite frustrating getting this thing in there. And if you drop it in like I do, you may never get it out of the differential. I think I just got lucky. I got it out with a coat hanger. Had to turn it long ways to get it out the hole, and somehow I got it out of there. So hope I never have to do this again. Okay, so I'm taking this out and I'm replacing it with this. Ow, damn thing's hot. It's been sitting in the sun. As you can see, it's longer, more surface area to hold that axle from flip-flopping around in there. We'll see if it works. I hope so. There's a whole lot of work involved in putting this thing in. Of course, I'll be better at it the second time, but the first time was a pain in the ass. Like I said, try to learn from my experience here.